Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine, and this is going to be a new series that I'm starting called The Fool. This is for those who are looking for new love after having a disastrous situation. Now, there is no guarantee that the person that I ask about, I'm going to go over the questions in a minute. There's no guarantee that even though we could be hoping for a new love, the universe could say, oh, well, are you hoping for a new love with someone from the past, or are you looking for a new love with someone that you haven't met yet? And again, however these cards come out will let us know if we're dealing with a past person or even a new person if they're showing up any kind of way, what their intentions are. So it kind of will give you a heads up. And remember again, please, that these readings are general. To know what is going on in your specific situation, of course, a personal reading is always best. But this is like the more, say, prominent energy that is happening for the divine feminine. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. It is late. So I'm trying to, again, to piece it all together here. Again, this is going to be for the divine feminine. And I said over the next 4 weeks, because I figured I'd probably do this once a month as kind of a mid-month thing. There's a couple of new spreads that I'm going to be doing just to add some variety to the channel, because the shit gets redundant, as we all know. So again, remember that these readings are general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And again, a personal reading is always best to find out what's going on in your particular life situation. If you'd like a personal reading, of course, all the information is below. If you'd like to support the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. It's good karma for you and good analytics for me, and the more people we could reach, because YouTube will help promote the channel, please hit the like button. Also, hit the little notifications button to get notified whenever a new video is uploaded, because if you're just subscribed, I was going to say prescribed. You just subscribe, they won't let you know unless you go on and check and look for it. So hit the notifications button. Again, like, share, comment. Let me know if it resonates, if any of this comes to pass over the next 4 weeks. Now, again, this is hoping to see if any new situations would come in. But from what I look like here, from what it seems like here, it looks like this is somebody from the past is coming in. But we have here, the first question is the past experience and why it ended. The second question here is a lesson that was learned or should have been learned. The third card here is what aspect of the self still needs addressing or healing or needs to be worked on. This is the current energy that you're sending out, law of attraction type stuff. I use the chakra cards because they also will let you know if you've got any blocks in these chakras that are affecting these, whatever's on the card here. And you do have crystals here, what kind of goes with the chakras. If you're into crystal healings, I was kind of guided to, which is usually how it happens when you feel moved to walk into one of those spiritual stores and you feel drawn to certain stones. It must be because that's your higher self trying to guide you towards different crystals or things that you might need to work with, or that could help you to overcome whatever is that for that specific crystal. And I was guided to twice this month to purchase new stones, and that usually doesn't happen like that. So they must be trying to prepare me. So that's why they may be trying to prepare you for something that's blowing in the wind. So that's maybe why you've gotten that advice as well. So I thought it was kind of neat how this came out with these. And the blue here represents, of course, the throat chakra. So this is all making sure that, again, we're standing in our truth. You know, we're speaking our truth. And then, of course, we have the third eye, you know, using our intuition, our higher knowing, our higher awareness about, again, the reason why all things happen. And then this is the solar plexus. I drew a blank. And this, of course, is our thinking, or how we're putting ourselves out there, thinking, feeling, etc. Now, this here, of course, is just advice. But I didn't finish the row up here, I'm sorry. Because we hit the chakra part. So this is who's coming towards you. You know, what new love is heading towards you? Like, what are their attributes? Like, who are they? You know, what kind of person they are. This is their intentions or feelings towards you. And this is how they might impact your life. And then here's advice. So now that I've gone on to a 6-minute introduction, but there's a lot to cover. There is a noticing here out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, we have 4 major arcana. So major arcanas are usually, it's important to note when you receive a lot of them, especially ones that are in reverse, because it's something that we really need to kind of pay attention to. The major arcana are kind of to serve as signposts on your journey, like chapters in a book. So they're meant to give you here, I wrote here, a deeper, more meaningful and spiritual in nature. That's what the major arcanas are. Again, they're signposts to be taken more seriously and looked at more closely. Aspects of the self, as well as our response to significant events in our life, how to get through them, how we should see them, ways to learn and grow and shed karma, etc. A more profound, deep, meaningful stage on the journey. So again, if there's 4 of them here, then that signifies something. And again, we're kind of in this transition phase where many are faced with choices, letting go of the old and embracing the new, or allowing ourselves to go back to, you know, past people, past situations that may turn out to work. It depends on your situation. Or, you know, you might be getting entangled again with a narcissist, somebody who's coming back to Hoover, you know, holidays are coming and all that. So it depends on what you're dealing with here, because we do have the Magician in the reverse. This speaks again about, you know, why it ended. And obviously it's dealing with somebody who's manipulative. We'll get into that. Again, a more profound, deep, meaningful stage in the journey, chapters in a book, representing a path to spiritual self-awareness. It's the search for greater meaning and understanding. Again, the lessons that we are to learn here with these shitty situations bring about. You know, what is the lesson in it all? It's the journey of the fool. Each step that brings you. That's why this is the fool spread. See. The lessons of the fool, each step brings you closer to enlightenment. Life-changing events which will have long-term influences, important lessons you must pay attention to in order to progress further in your spiritual personal quest. If many are reversed, it indicates that you're not paying attention to these important life lessons, and we must return to the lesson of the previous card before moving forward. So, in placement to the other cards, again, if it's positive, if it's a positive major, that means up in the upright. Next to some not so positive minor cards, it will trump them. So if these were negative and this one was you know, upright, it would overshadow these. This one is upright, this one is not, but we will get into that here. Now let us look The past experience and why it all ended. Well, first, here, the bottom of the deck was the Five of Wands, but in the reverse. So this is about conflict avoidance, increased focus on our goals. So again, a lot of people might have turned their back on certain people or situations and are more focused on trying to get their money right, trying to get their self-esteem back, trying to, again, keep it moving. This is also about avoiding conflict again, deflecting or ignoring. The feminine had come up in the daily drama. She had the blindfold on. So again, don't ignore what's obvious because we want to see something different. Again, a lot of people need to, you know what I'm saying? It's also a sigh of relief after conflict. So maybe we're releasing ourselves from whatever inner conflict we might have been having or a conflict with other people. Um, Struggling to feel more secure in your relationships. It's also being trying to be conflict free. Our need to focus on achieving our goals and stay committed. Again, first and foremost to yourself, right? To your own healing, to your own path. Because especially if we want to attract a good partner, we first have to become one. Again, we have to heal before we deal. We have to make sure we don't repeat same situations with different people because we're showing up the same. I give the same message for the masculine. This is about, again, learning the lessons of what shadow aspects have been brought to light in these karmic situations or in these relationships or just in our lives. Again, taking a life review, making sure we notice the patterns, our own behaviors, again, admitting to ourselves truths we might not want to admit to in regards to how we're showing up, what we're allowing, all of that stuff. Again, it's about these lessons, and because you got 4 of them, and they are dealing with karmic justice, manipulative people, self-serving people, still holding on to certain feelings, perhaps, again, still kind of in the healing stage. The ones that have been in it for a while, they're really trying to emphasize for you to let that go. This past person might come back around, but it's just a test to see if you learned, or they could be coming back genuinely changed and grown, and it'll be up to you to decide to go back to that or to see if something better, or I say better, but something else will come along. It just depends on your situation, depends on you, where you're at in your journey, your awareness, all of that. But again, this is the reason why it ended. So again, Magician in Reverse talks about, manipulative people, poor planning as well, maybe rushing into things without thinking, greed, deceit, manipulation, trickery, cunning, mental confusion, again, not knowing what's what because somebody's gaslighting you every minute, probably if you're dealing with a narcissist, untrustworthiness. There was no trust, or trust had been broken because you were finding out somebody was a shady ass mofo. A charmer sells you a dream and delivers a nightmare. Out of touch with reality. Perhaps the feminines were out of touch with the reality, refusing to see the truth. Again, wearing rose-colored glasses because the pain of the truth is too much. It's like more rather live a beautiful lie than, a harsh truth. But that doesn't serve anybody in the end, right? Doesn't serve any justice, only serves injustice. Lack of a clear plan, again, asking where you're focusing your energy. So again, perhaps we should have asked ourselves, what the hell, we invested in somebody who's not investing in us, right? Who's using all their tools in the toolbox to make sure that they're, getting their stuff met, or pulling the wool over whoever's eyes, or whatever it is here. And the feminines was needing to ask, well, why do we keep investing in people that are investing in us, again, who we know that are not for your highest good? What are people's objectives? Maybe discovering people's objectives was strictly, based on what you were able to provide them. Again, to fill a void and meet a need. Um, so this is the reason why it ended. You're unable to manifest something because, again, you can't have anything real with someone who's fake. You know what I'm saying? And this here is a lesson that was learned, or that should be learned. Justice. How are we serving ourselves? Are we serving ourselves injustice? Are we staying in situations that aren't making us happy with people that aren't treating us right? How is justice being served in this situation? Justice can also mean justice system. Maybe, again, if people rushed into a marriage that didn't pan out the way you thought because the person wasn't who you thought. So there could have been a lesson there. Now, again, this card talks about impartiality, things that cut both ways. You learn a lesson, but it sucked. You shed some karma, and that was great. That was the whole point of it, but it really put you through the ringer. It's also about truth, fairness. So obviously we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to make sure that we're dealing with people that are honest with us, not liars and manipulators. We make sure that we're treating ourselves fairly. Again, don't make yourself small to build up somebody else, because that's an injustice to you both. You're being called to account for your actions and to be judged accordingly. So again, we get what we allow. We see the crack way before we see the ass. I could throw out many more, but you get the point. A lot of times you stay in something because you use the excuse that you love them to tolerate this kind of shit. And you're serving yourself an injustice by doing that. And we're needing to, again, hold yourself accountable for your own role in things, again, because we get what we allow. Learn the lesson. Learn that love isn't about lies, comfort zones. It's not based in fear. It shouldn't make you be jumping through hoops. It shouldn't be having yourself be treated like a doormat. It shouldn't be where you're feeling taken advantage of and used, or unhappy, or uncertain, or walking on eggshells, or whatever was going on in your situation. It's basically realizing, again, what's real and what's full of shit, and stop lying to ourselves, trying to justify other people's shit, and it's not making you happy. Again, it's serving an injustice to you both. So, again, and everybody owning their side of the street, trying to, again, live and learn. Actions that have long-term consequences. Like, well, for many, it depends on how long you stayed in that situation, depending on how it put you out in the end, whether it was financially put you out, mentally and emotionally left you exhausted. You could, if you've been dealing with a narcissist, you could have developed post-traumatic CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress from day in, day out, gaslighting, emotional, mental, financial abuse. I mean, you in those kind of situations, you'll just be exhausted because you're in a constant state of, what the fuck. Again, this is karmic justice. So there was a karmic lesson here involved. Could have been past life. But whatever it is, it was probably nothing new, because though it can happen where you can have a random encounter with one that's a hit and run, for many, they seem to attract the same type of partner, because, again, you're showing up, you're putting out the same energy as you did before, and that is low self-esteem. the doormatty, the clingy type, again, fear of being alone, fear of being abandoned, and whatever love looked like to you as a child, again, repeating those patterns, again, showing up in that way, allowing behaviors. Again, if you look back on all your past relationships, you might be able to connect them all to being very similar. And again, for many, this was something that has been a continuum in their adult life in regards to relationships, the types of partners that they attract, because again, and that could even be friendships too, frenemies. If you're the too nice one all the time, or too giving, or too whatever, you'll have energy vampires, or people that want to take advantage of you, or just people that, again, we're needing to check the energy that we bring and the energy that we allow into our lives, right? Um, this is also about having compassion. So again, have compassion first and foremost for yourself. Don't put yourself in unjust situations. Love yourself first, and the rest will fall into place. You teach others how to teach you by how you treat yourself. So don't be afraid to, again, be on your own, be independent, stand up for yourself. Whatever was your lesson here, to learn to be more assertive, not in a bitchy way, but have boundaries and not feel like you have to say yes all the time, or you have to, again, make yourself small to build up somebody else just to keep that person. Because then you have to ask yourself, well, why are you doing that? What are they doing to keep you? You know what I mean? It's like if you're chasing and chasing and chasing, that's based out of fear. If you're clinging, and especially if you're a feminine who's been dealing with a narcissistic type and you're still hoping and wishing and dreaming that this person's going to change, I'll tell you one thing, they never will. They'll come and talk a good game, but in the end, you'll find yourself in the same old, don't be fooled, because you want so badly for it all to have been worth it. I'm going to do a whole nother spread called The Narcissist that I'm going to bring on the channel. So if anybody who's been dealing with types that are narcissists, or cluster B personality types, or just people that are embodying those traits, because again, unless people go to therapy and get diagnosed, you don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, more than likely. So if you have been dealing with something like that, and again, it could be masculines, feminines, it's for whoever's been dealing with people that were like this. So look out for that if you're interested. Future actions that can change based on lessons learned. So again, this is your opportunity to show up differently because you've been through something. Whether you're engaging with a past person that's not a narcissist, again, know what you're dealing with. Then again, might be an opportunity again for, if both people have learned, changed, and grown, to come together and apply those lessons and move forward. But again, it has to be both people, or just you in general with anyone new that you might encounter. Now, this one here is what aspect of the self that still needs addressing, healing, or to be worked on. We have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and that, is obviously, this is a single lady card. This is somebody who's happy to be alone. She's in the garden with her bird and her dress and her pentacles. She's like, I got everything I need. I'm enjoying fruits of my labors. I'm enjoying my environment with or without anybody. But in the reverse, it could be somebody who's doesn't want to be single, doesn't want to be alone. So again, watch out for that, because if you're kicking that out, because we have here too isolation, vanity could deal with ego, low self-esteem, you might be, make sure again, we are self-aware and we're aware of anybody else that might be coming around us, because if you're coming across as somebody who's an easy target, isolated, lonely, alone, still clinging to hope, The people that are coming in like this, they're going to be looking for that. So, like I said, just watch yourself. This is about over investments in work, financial setbacks. So, again, some people might have had financial difficulties. Um, so, we're needing to get our careers going, get our money right. Um, Financial setbacks due to unwise decisions and actions, or a need to learn from your mistakes and build a more solid, secure foundation for yourself. Again, healing before we deal, making sure we're aware of whatever lessons that we needed to learn, whatever parts of ourselves that we needed to change, becoming more assertive, becoming more self sufficient, becoming more independent, knowing your worth and your value, not sacrificing your own happiness just to keep somebody, you know. Don't have lower your moral standards or values again to keep hoping and wishing and dreaming for someone else to then step up. You know, deal with what's in front of you, not what, the potential. Like sometimes you got to deal with the reality, right? And then we won't be investing in things that don't deserve our investment and time. Um, Need to return to a natural setting, beach, forest, garden, etc., to restore your energies and rejuvenate. Because we've got here, there is some still releasing that we're needing to deal with here. We got heal away addictions. This could be, again, addicted to people. The narcissist and the codependent, you're not brought together by mistake. Being involved with these types of people, that psychological abuse, that mental, emotional abuse, the gaslighting, when you deal with these types of people and you separate from these types of people, it can very well feel like going through withdrawals. It can feel like an addiction. I mean, I see people, and I used to see people in the forums looking for support from each other, saying that they, keep me from reaching out to them, sounding like drug addicts. Because normal, you know what I mean? It's like what they're looking for help for people to keep them from breaking no contact. This is the kind of sick, twisted, dynamic, mental instability. You can see the psychological wounding on a person who's been through a relationship with a narcissist. They're not in their right minds. They're speaking like a person who's an addict, even though they know, they keep hoping and wishing and dreaming that it's not what it is. Again, if you're dealing with them types or whatever, look out for that other reading because I'll get more into that there than here. But again, realize what is real and what is an addiction. Realize your worth and your value. Realize what's going to bring you justice and happiness, and follow that. Don't lose sight of that. Um, you know what I'm saying? Now, again, may need to reduce your dependence on maintaining a certain lifestyle. So again, maybe some people are, again, in dependence on somebody else. That dependence, that addiction, dependency, we're needing to, again, be okay with being on our own. Or this, again, we might need to watch our money matters. Or there's a resistance or disbelief in the self and what you can achieve. Again, we need a self-esteem boost here. Dealing with manipulative people and all of that, it definitely can crush your self-esteem, but you got to understand that says nothing about you. Well, it does. I don't want to say that because, again, we get what we allow. There was obviously something in it for you. You were getting something out of it. But, we need a self-esteem boost. Know that you can have better. You deserve better. And believe in yourself. If you're working on any things, you like projects or whatever it is, your career stuff, you know, don't don't think you can't have it, you know. Now, this is who's coming towards you. The new love, or the opportunity for new love that's coming towards you within the next 4 weeks. What kind of person are they? Well, this isn't a good person to have coming towards you. This is somebody who's all talk and no action. Someone who has undelivered promises. Like I said, you might have some of those narcissists coming back around because their other situation didn't work out. So they want to come and see, you know, if we can still pick off the bones over here. Depending on how you're presenting yourself, if you're presenting yourself as somebody who's lonely and heartbroken and willing and waiting to take them back in, this is, they might be looking at you as like think of how a lion looks at its prey. You know what I'm saying? That's a Page of Swords. Somebody, again, it could be spying. Someone, again, checking to see if they can come back. Someone who acts hastily. Again, does shit without thinking about it. You know, and then expects other people just to get amnesia and think they can come back in and make some more promises that they have no intention on delivering. Acting hastily without thinking, no effective use of energy, and need to take one thing at a time. This person is all over the place, all talk, no action. Again, spying, stalking, not delivering on promises. Someone who acts like a know-it-all. Well, that would definitely be a narcissist. Annoying others with constant questioning and challenging. So maybe they're somebody who's annoying. It's like I said, you involved with these types, it's like constant state of what the fuck. Needs someone who needs to be conscious of how they come across, or someone who might be afraid to speak to you. That's another thing too. And obviously, if they were being this way in the past, that's probably why they're afraid. You know, maybe they think that you're happy. You know, you don't need them. Depends on what information they're picking up as that when they're stalking. Not feeling again that they have enough information to approach you. So again, they might be trying to check out the coast is clear. Now, this is here. What are their feelings or intentions towards you? Well, you know, the Empress in the upright speaks about, you know, growth, expansion. You know, this is like the wife, someone you can build a life with. Maybe in the reverse, they says they don't feel that they have a chance to build anything with you. Maybe that's why, you know, they're trying to gather information on whether or not you're approachable. Because again, the reason why things ended before was due to some shady behavior, or see, I don't know if that is, because again, these general readings, it's just I like to be honest, but you can read these cards so many ways, and this isn't a personal reading. I don't want to lead anybody down the primrose path. I don't want to give anyone that's been involved with narcissists any kind of false hope, or maybe they feel so, you know what I mean? I try to be very careful, but again, people, make sure you use discernment and make the right choices for yourself. Because I meant to mention too, sometimes in these readings, when you see, oh, how is the masculine feeling? Oh, well, they're feeling depressed or sad or regretful or whatever. That might not be because of how they, you know, treated you. They might be just feeling sorry for themselves because the current situation didn't work out. And now they're wishing, shit, I should have just stayed where I was. It has nothing to do with really remorse or pain that they caused you or feeling bad about that. Maybe they're just feeling sorry for themselves. And you have to be careful again with how you read these cards, because I watch so many readers And I even see when there's negative stuff in there, but they try to make it sound positive. And I think that that's, for whatever reason that they do that, um, I feel like it's an injustice, whether it's to be popular or to keep people coming back because they keep them clinging to hope. I don't like to do that. I don't want anybody stuck and sitting and waiting for anybody. That doesn't that isn't what the universe wants you to do, and I can speak from experience, it doesn't serve you well either. I don't speak on nothing that I haven't already been through, which is probably why I've been guided to help people go through the same bullshit that I did. So we share in the, you know what I mean? So I always try to, but there's so much you can cover. And again, this isn't a one-on-one session, but I always want to be sure that, just be smart, no matter who you're dealing with, especially if you've been through an experience like this. It says again, somebody who is a creative block, dependence on others. So again, you could be dealing with somebody who's again codependent, because we got codependency over here. And again, and narcissists and codependents, they're both codependents, just in the same different sides of the same coin. That's why they're brought together, to feed each other's stuff. And if you're a person who's still kind of stuck in that and still wishing and hoping and dreaming that the narcissist isn't a narcissist, you're setting yourself up. That's what it says, that Two of Swords that was in the other reading. Know what you're dealing with. You might have somebody completely new on the horizon that's meant to be your life partner. And the universe is going to test you to see if you're going to go back to what you know is not good for you. If you're going to sabotage your own justice and happiness because you want so much for, this is, don't cling to a mistake because you spent a long time making it. Sometimes we got to know when to cut our losses, to straighten out your crown and walk forward to something that that you can manifest, something that's going to be better for you. Loss of personal power, a doormat. So again, this is their feelings or intentions. So you might be dealing with somebody again who's just viewing you as, the doormat, the target, the one they can always come back to after they've gone on and fucked around with other people or went and fucked up and made bad choices. So they just come back to what's familiar again, or come back to as a temporary means to an end, or whatever it is. This is don't. Oh my God. This is feeling challenged too and bottled up. So maybe again, they for some people that it might be dealing with somebody from the past who has changed and grown. They might again be unsure. They might feel, that this is going to be a challenge to make something grow, to manifest. Lack of harmony, because there's lack of harmony between the two of you, lack of harmony perhaps even within themselves. Lack of self-esteem, feeling disconnected, depressed, negative, unwanted even. So, like I said, some of them might not even know if they have a chance to come back in, because you might be sending off a thing of not interested. This is also being overprotective. So if you got your walls up or your boundaries up, they might think that they might not be able to penetrate that. So again, some might view you as somebody with low self-esteem and who's a doormat and easy to come back in, and they're trying to check to see if they can come back in the way they were. Or, they might feel like they're unsure if something can manifest, and my lights keep blowing out. I'm going to have to replace them now. It's different for everybody. Again, this isn't a personal reading. Now, how might they impact your life? Well, there's a good side and a bad side to this card, I guess, and a good aspect, maybe it's the purifier, rebirth. They'll allow you to, finally phase this thing out, allow old shit to end, and they'll bring rebirth into your life, something fresh and new and pure. There's also the sign of Scorpio. It can bring about something fruitful. something that can manifest, something that expand and grow. Um, Significant transformation, a profound, this is end of a major phase or aspect of your life that brings about the beginning of something far more valuable and important, closing one door to open another, putting the past behind you and parting ways to embrace new opportunities, something that might be difficult but important, as you will soon see. Um, if you resist, you'll feel pain and emotion, pain, emotional and physical pain. Because again, it can manifest in the body, aches and pains, depression, all this stuff. Um, Significant transformation, again, or profound need for change, clearing away limiting factors, sudden changes, something that you can't escape its effects, a need to learn to let go of unhealthy attachments for more fulfilling things. So, either this person, again, this is how might they impact your life. They may bring in something new, allowing for a total turnaround in your life. And again, allowing you to finally put the past behind you and move forward and have a completely new experience that will transform you in positive ways. Um, and if you don't go through with it, then you might miss out again on an opportunity here that can be more fulfilling for you. Or again, this could be somebody who's going to be the death of you if you let them back in here. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bring death and destruction and all kinds of shit. Watch out. Um, or again, or this might be if it's a past person who's actually, wanting to put in the work and stuff, then this, whatever efforts that they put in is going to allow for, again, the past to be laid to rest so that we can have a new beginning. But again, as I've said through all of this, know what you're dealing with. This is general, this isn't personal, and use discernment. Now, this is the chakra cards. This is the energy that you're putting out. Again, because we attract what we put out, right? So we want to make sure we're putting out positive stuff. This is what you're putting out. Isolation. So again, if you're coming across as somebody who's isolated, alone, and waiting for somebody to come back, watch out on that, because they might be looking at you as though they're doormat. It's going to be easy way in. And then when they leave, they're going to leave you mortified over here. And then we have, again, vanity. It obviously talks about the ego, our perceptions of self and others. But again, this is both throat chakra. So making sure that, again, we're speaking our truth, we're being clear with whoever's coming our way about, again, our standards. You have to have certain standards that people either meet them or they fall off. And one standard could be, no lying, no cheating, no mooching. Like, these are standards, Otherwise, you're opening the door back into same old, same old. Lay it all out about what you want in a partner and in a relationship. And if that person cannot meet that, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying, people? Isolation. Inspiration message: do not wait for the right time to live your life. You are on the verge of something big, but if you don't participate, it could pass you by. So if you've been hiding out in the house, you're not going to meet somebody new who might bring positive change into your life if you're hiding away. Also, if you're in the woest and low self-esteem, again, You can miss opportunities that might be available to you for, again, growth, expansion, happiness, joy. Maybe you needing to get out more, socialize with people. Um, but if you're taking time to heal, it's still good to have support around you. You know, um, you don't have to be hitting town 3 times a week. You know what I mean? Key ideas: self protection, making excuses, over preparing, and never feeling ready to take action. So, if we've been feeling that way, we need to get out of that. Keywords: a celebration, experiences, and play. It's about being open again to new experiences, learning from past ones, making sure that we do protect ourselves, have boundaries, have standards, but, not put up fortresses where new people and new experiences can't get in. Um, Now, vanity was the other one here. Inspiration message: we all say we will stop when we've had enough, but there's never enough. You may be looking outside of yourself for validation. Again, know your worth. Don't be coming across as a needy, clingy doormat waiting for the narcissist to come back and make you feel like you were chosen. Because again, it's like, what are you really winning back? A liar, a cheater, a user, an abuser? What's the winning in that? What's the justice in that? Not for you. So again, as I say, um, I guess you'll stop when you've had enough, when you've been left. Like I said, there's nothing but bones to pick from, perhaps. But again, we all have to come to our own place at our own time. But we can save ourselves a lot of suffering if we, again, see what's wrong in the programming within ourselves so that we stop allowing shady ass people to take advantage. You know what I'm saying? Personal inquiry: am I feeling disconnected from any people in my life? Am I growing away from limiting relationships? So again, you should hope to be growing away from limiting relationships. You don't want to be in anything that you're not able to grow and expand, and people show up and that are there for you, and you don't have to question their loyalty or their honesty. You know what I'm saying? So you should be embracing that. Get yourself out there. Go meet some people and have better experiences. And again, or feeling disconnected, feeling isolated, feeling lonely. But again, when you're in that state, it's a very dangerous place to be, especially if you got people that are coming back around, old or new, that prey upon love devotees, the forever romanticizing person, the doormat, the nice one, the one that they know that they can manipulate and take advantage of and come in like a hit and run, and you won't know what the hell happened. It says you have to protect yourself, protect your heart. Key ideas: environmental tension, living in illusions. Watch out for that. Self-doubt, power to change. You have the power within you, dear. Lesser companions. Yeah, we don't want people, egotistical, narcissistic people. Lesser companions. Empty conversations. Again, something that is all talk and no action. Undelivered promises. Make sure that we're, again, speaking up. If we're dealing with any past people who have been a certain way, allow them to show it: actions, words, and consistency over time. Don't go jumping back in. And if you know for a fact that you've probably been dealing with a narcissist, please don't fool yourself into thinking you can heal them or love them or give them more time or hoping and wishing or whatever it is. Because again, there's no words to describe what being involved with those types of people, what it can do to a person. Like, it's, unless you've been in it, no, you don't know. Like I says, it's like watching drug addicts go through a withdrawal, and no matter how bad the abuse is, if it wasn't physical, they try to make all kinds of excuses and try to look at the good times, the golden period, that thing that they were chasing probably for years to get back. But it's just like you're running on a hamster wheel, and you're setting yourself up. I always throw it out there because, again, a lot of times people don't even know that that's what they're dealing with. You have to go and look up that disorder or other cluster B personality types. See if you can check off like a laundry list behavior patterns that that person exhibited, experiences that you had with them, because everybody tells the same story, because, again, it's a behavior pattern. And no matter who it is, it's like they all read from the same handbook. So it's like I said, if you want to know if you've been involved with a narcissist, look at the beginning of the relationship, the middle of it, and the end. And that'll tell you everything, because they all start out the same, the middle is always the same, and the ending is always the same, the discard. That's why I said if you can go into those forums and check off like a shopping list, your experiences that are the exact same things that these people are talking about, then there's your answer. Keywords again is faith, awareness, and transformation. Having faith in yourself. That transformation can happen, as long as we, again, apply the lessons that are learned, try to work on your self-esteem, again, building yourself up, finding your confidence again, maybe getting yourself out there, try and find some support to help you heal, and have faith, forgiveness. Again, if you're coming across as somebody who's willing to forgive someone's transgressions, again, make sure you're doing it because they deserve it, not because you're, again, lonely, have low self-esteem, wearing rose-colored glasses, whatever it is. But remember, too, if we're letting a situation go, and it says that maybe somebody is checking to see if they can come back in, but maybe they're going to be met with, a new and improved you. And this could also be you can forgive them, but love them from afar. Be open to somebody new coming in. Inspiration message. The true essence is not harboring resentment. She transcends forgiveness because her focus is on her intention, not on her pain. So again, this is trying to live and learn, trying to forgive. But lest we not forget, because it helps to serve us in the future. Personal inquiry, this may be a time of family healing. Can I forgive myself for loving people who hurt me? Because again, we have to, because again, why we have to ask ourselves, well, why do we tolerate that? Why do we settle for less than? Why are you doing all these things for somebody who's throwing you crumbs? It's like that tells you more about you than it does about them. Because again, why are we allowing ourselves to be in unhappy situations? Because there's a strong sexual attraction, or because sometimes they say all the right words, or because the beginning was so great. If I can only get it to be like it was again. Sometimes if you're dealing with narcissists, like it says, it's a bad situation, but you have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing better. Again, living and learning. Try to forgive them too, because again, even though they know full well what they do, otherwise they wouldn't try to hide it so much. They wouldn't hide behind masks. They're perfectly capable, but for them, even with them, it's a defense mechanism. It's an instinct. They can't help but be that way because of either nature, nurture, or both. What love looked like to them as a child, how do they feel about themselves? Again, it's two sides of the same coin, but people have different reactions in their upbringing. You get people that become hardened and cold and disconnected, and then you have people that become doormatty and too much giving, trying to prove their love. And so you have two different results. But we're having to, again, learn forgiveness. So then we can free ourselves to be open to new things. And be willing to forgive here. You got forgiveness twice. You know, so obviously there is a need to heal and release whatever that we might still be holding on to, learning the lesson, applying it, and moving forward. Whether that's with somebody new, you know, and if somebody old comes back around who's shady, you know, don't even deal, or if you're, you know, considering entertaining someone from the past, make sure that they're coming correct. Um, Now, keywords again are belonging, self-forgiveness, and fulfillment. Again, go towards what brings you fulfillment. You know, forgiving yourself. Know that you're lovable and you deserve to have love if that's what you're looking for. Make sure it's you have it in yourself first. Wishes fulfilled, holding on to dreams and past wounding. So again, we're needing to heal and release. Now, here we have joy. Keywords of joy, playfulness, and delight. Maybe you're coming across as someone who's happy, but you're really hiding your real stuff. You know, because again, this is what you're putting out. So you may be coming across as somebody who's happy. Again, I just repeated myself because I'm very tired. um, you know, but we're needing to really kind of try to embody these two here. You know, again, build up your esteem, get yourself out there. Allow for healing. Keywords, a conduit for joy, detached from joy, higher purpose, profoundly impacting lives. Maybe they view you as somebody who's profoundly impacting lives. Maybe you're doing stuff to help people. Improved health. Again, maybe you're coming across as someone who's, you know, again, happy. Again, somebody stalking, somebody could be looking at your social media accounts or whatever, and it's, again, assuming that they're trying to figure out how you feeling, how you are based on your posts. What can I do to invite happiness into my life? Or being present is not the same as truly experiencing something. So again, trying to be present, trying to find the little joys that you can around you. Dancing Daisy represents a new joyous phase in life and a significant change, such as a move, a new job, or a marriage. This is the moment after the leap. You may not see where you are going, but you will land on your feet. So again, whatever you've been through here, as long as you know, do the healing work, as long as you apply the lessons, you know, better things await you. You may not see it, but it will come towards you. As long as, again, you can use discernment again about the energy that you bring and what you allow, who you allow to come into your space. All will work out as it should as long as you are showing up for yourself, right? Heal away addictions. It's time to let go of behaviors that are blocking you from your heart's desire. Ask Archangel Raphael to help you with this healing. So again, if we're addicted to people, addicted to ruminating thoughts, addicted to, you know, toxic relationships or stinking thinking or whatever it is, or, you know, drowning our sorrows in the vino or eating too many cookies or whatever we're going on here as we're isolated and not feeling good about ourselves. It's about, again, this is what needs to be worked on, right? You need to have this in the upright. Male, female, again, doesn't matter. And then you have fairies. You have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. Now, as I mentioned before, whether you believe in it or not, you know, for some, you might be descended elementals. And this is them letting you know or reminding you about who you are and that your guardians and your other fairy friends are around you and trying to help you in your healing and in your journey. So this is what this card usually always symbolizes for me. Books. Your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritually based books. It's so funny because, again, I'm a divine feminine, obviously, and these cards usually always come out for me. The books, they're always telling me about writing. I says, yes, I know, you know, and of course, if anyone's read my thing, you know, my connection to the fairy realm. So, you know, I take it as a hint for them to keep trying to push me into this direction. For some of you, it might be the same thing. Maybe you're meant to write about your experience, or maybe you need to refer to some books to help you in your healing, self-help books, self-love books, books about healing from narcissists, whatever it is that you might be drawn to. This might help you, whether again it's reading them or writing them. And then again, we have forgiveness. Be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. Now, again, that doesn't necessarily mean forgive this person and allow them back in. This is just forgiveness again for you and for that person. If you can release, it helps to release that energy so that it doesn't keep you stuck in the past, the pain of the past. Again, repeating thoughts. It's like you're not with the person, but the connection is still there because you're still thinking about it every minute. And I guarantee if you're dealing with a narcissist, they're not thinking about you. If they're with somebody else, unless they're looking at you as a potential person to come back around and take advantage of, then maybe they're thinking. But again, be willing to forgive so that you can release whatever is still keeping you in a state of non-progression, and maybe the crystals will help you out. Go to a crystal shop and see what you might be drawn to and try to work with the stones. And I want to tell you, meditation brings answers. So again, if we're thinking clearly, getting real, this will help us in making any choices that we're needing to make in the future in regards to whatever opportunities that might lie ahead for us. Again, what opportunities that we take, what opportunities that we pass up, what opportunities that we might miss if we don't. Again, learn how to get out of our own way, get out of the woe-is, release whatever needs to be released. Again, apply the lesson, move forward, become self-empowered, allow for change, death to happen. Continue working on yourself and you'll attract better things towards you. And then here, very soon, clearly decide what you want so it comes to you. Again, they might be telling you, it's just around the bend, but whatever you're clinging to is what's going to manifest for you. So again, you might have a past person pop up that's just coming back to test you. You might have a past person that's coming up that wants to work things out, or you might have an opportunity with someone new, but you might have a past person coming in to confuse you. Again, everybody's situation is different, but they want you to clearly decide what you want and get rid of what you don't. Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So again, if someone does come back around, make sure you speak your truth. Make sure you don't speak from a place of fear of being alone, clinging on to situations and people that we shouldn't, because it somehow feeds our ego. It justifies all the shit that we went through with this person because they finally chose us. Again, but what are you winning? What prize are you winning? The mooch, the liar, the cheater? Again, not everything is a prize. And be careful what you wish for. So there might be an opportunity for some conversations to come in, and you're going to have to use discernment in that situation or whatever you're dealing with. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Now, again, someone might be trying to sweet talk you into letting down your guard, so they can come back in because they view you again as someone they can take advantage of, that you're alone, you're lonely, you might forgive them. And plus, because you seem happy, they might want to come in and fuck you all up again. You know what I'm saying? Watch out. Or they might be telling you to stop clinging on to whatever this is and allow for something new to come in. Someone might be approaching you, but they're unsure if they can manifest anything with you because you're coming across as maybe someone who's isolated or, still in your feelings about whatever happened here. So that's for some of you, or for those who might be working things out with people, and they might be saying, allow things to, heal and see how it goes. We got finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life. So again, some people are struggling with their own finances. And then you also have some codependent, moochy narcissists, hobosexuals, fuck boys, fuck girls, whatever you want to call them, who aren't looking for love, they're looking for help. So again, they might be trying to come in and try to get you to let down your guard so they can come off and mooch off you again. You know what I'm saying? So be wary about opportunities. Which one is going to be fruitful and which one is just going to lead you back down the shitter. Meditation brings answers, Spirit says. Or this is again, maybe you again healing your own addictions, getting out of your own way, releasing, stinking thinking, toxic relationships, focusing on your career, letting go of the past, letting go of fear of the future, letting go of trying to control the wins, the hows, the whys, the whats, and just again focus on yourself. Have a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself. What do I want? What do I need to do to get it? Clearly figure it out, because the universe might want to bless you with something. But again, but they can't bless you if you're clinging to old shite. And on that note, my dears, an hour. I didn't know it was going to be that long. But hey, if it helps, it helps. It's as long as it needs to be, right? So I hope you get some benefit out of this. I hope you use discernment. I hope you learn how to get out of your own way. I hope you heal. I hope you find your independence and your happiness and your joy and your groove back and your esteem and positive experiences and people in your midst. Because I sure as hell hope the same for myself. You know what I'm saying? I hope that money gets right. You know what I mean? I'm going to start writing my books and follow my fellow Faye's advice. And on that note, I send you love and light. I wish you healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. Again, please like, subscribe, share, leave comments. And until the next time, my dears, we play the fool. Fool me once, fool me twice, but don't fool me twice, or whatever we want to say this, right? Be the fool in regards to, embracing new beginnings, but don't allow yourself to get played for a fool again by any shady people. You know what I'm saying? Take care. Bye-bye.